Handpicked Music, Hometown Radio, 92.1, The Palm, the Bangles, Walk Like an Egyptian, 15 minutes after 8 o'clock. You're in with Doc. Forecast for today looks spectacular, and then it turns kind of hot tomorrow. Sunny and 77 today, sunny and 89 tomorrow, clear and 55 tonight. Currently starting your morning off at right about 54 degrees as you get your Midlands morning started. We've got a guest in the studio, and as always, guests get to introduce themselves. Tell about who you are and where you're from.
Good morning. I'm Margaret Self. I'm with Carolina Reiki Institute, and I'm here to talk to you this morning about Reiki and some other natural healing methods.
Okay, well, let's start there. What is Reiki?
Reiki is a Japanese therapy that is very good for balancing the energies in the body.
Okay.
It helps things to even out so that our bodies can return to a state of health. It is very gentle, uses a light touch, so there's no manipulation. Some people think it's a massage, but it has nothing to do with that. You're fully clothed, and the energy works throughout your body to remove blockages, to add energy where it needs to be. It's a perfect complement to anything that you're already doing.
Okay, all right. And when would somebody need to come see you?
I see people of all ages and all states of health. Generally, because it takes thinking outside the box to look at something that isn't in the traditional medical field.
Right.
People tend to come to me when they're really sick.
Okay.
But I also have clients who come to stay healthy because you can boost your immune system and just bring out a total balance. Okay.
We're going to talk more here with Margaret about Carolina Reiki Institute and what they do there. The website, if you want to play along on the home game, is Carolina Reiki Institute. That's R-E-I-K-I Institute.com, and you can find out more there as we'll talk more with Margaret here in just a couple of minutes. Allman Brothers on the way, Jerry Douglas. This is Counting Crows, Daylight Fading. Handpicked Music, Hometown Radio, 92.1, The Palm. Handpicked Music, Hometown Radio, 92.1, The Palm. Robbie Robertson, go back to your woods. Jerry Douglas on the way. Allman Brothers coming up in a couple minutes. Pretenders on the way as well. Talking to Margaret this morning, and you can check out her website, CarolinaReikiInstitute.com. That's R-E-I-K-I Institute. And Margaret's in here. We're talking about what they do at Carolina Reiki Institute. Collection of Japanese words. Jinsen Jitsu.
Yes.
What is it, and how does it help?
Jinjin Jitsu is another Japanese art of healing, and it's similar but different to Reiki. It's based on there being 26 points in the body that are, they call them safety energy locks that blow out when you're under stress. So you use your hands as jumper cables to reconnect the circuits. And it can be something as simple as holding one finger or a 15-step protocol.
Okay. How do you decide where a patient is having an issue?
I generally talk to them and get their input as to, one of the first questions I ask people, why did you come? But it can also be done by reading pulses, or because I've gotten sensitive to energy over the years through my use of Reiki, I can generally figure out where in the body things are blocked or needed, needing to have the energy placed.
Now, we mentioned some people come to you who are very sick. Some people come to you who are very well and want to stay that way. You view Reiki and Jinsen Jitsu as adjuncts to regular medical care, going in for your checkup, that whole thing, right?
Yes, definitely. I always suggest that my clients tell their doctors what they're doing, and I always find out what kind of medications they're taking, because doing this kind of work, especially the Reiki, will very often enhance or make their drugs or whatever they're doing work better. And so sometimes they need to reduce, but they can't do that without their doctor. This is very much complementary as opposed to alternative.
Okay. All right, we're going to talk more with Margaret here in just a couple of minutes. Carolina Reiki Institute. Hit the website and find out more. Allman Brothers, ain't wasting time no more. It's up next. Handpicked Music, Hometown Radio, 92.1, The Palm. The Box, of course, a classic from, Wow. Simon and Garfunkel. Just wandered off there for a minute. Of course, that version is Jerry Douglas with Mumford & Sons. Great version of that. So you can check that out on Jerry Douglas's album, not the Mumford & Sons album. Got Kings of Leon on the way. Serena Ryder coming up in just a couple of minutes. Got Margaret Self in studio. Carolina Reiki Institute, CarolinaReikiInstitute.com. That's REIKI Institute.com if you want more information. We've talked a little bit about the individual therapies. When folks come to you, you said some of them come to you who are very ill because they haven't had success other places, right?
Right.
And what's usually the straw that gets them there? You know, that last push.
I think if I looked at it in general, probably pain, and because that's a big push. When you're in pain, everything feels bad. And so they will come with that. Or they've had somebody say, well, I heard about this strange thing called Reiki. Why don't you try that?
Okay.
But more and more people are coming who already are familiar. They, especially as more people move to the South from other states where it's very commonly used,
right?
Then they're already looking.
Okay. You've been in this business for a long time. What got you here?
In a nutshell, because it's a long, long story, I have a daughter who has been a medical challenge from very young, and that was the straw that pushed me into looking. From her treatments, she became both permanently mentally and physically disabled, and I had to look outside the box. I thought there's got to be another way. And when I started looking, Reiki wasn't the first thing that I explored, but when I found it, it was like, man, this is perfect.
Okay. If I was walking in for the first time, is it me and you sit and talk and consult and decide what's up?
Yes. I always, with a new client, want to talk to them some first to find the issues, because I'm not just looking at the physical body. Reiki will work with all the bodies, the spiritual and the mental, emotional. So I like to find out what's up in the person's life. And that also sets the tone for the treatment, so that if there's something that needs to be brought to the surface in their own mind, it might bubble up during the session, and I can help them connect the dots.
Okay. All right, we're going to talk more with Margaret, Carolina Reiki Institute, in just a couple of minutes, and find out how to get in touch and some other things. Got Kings of Leon on the way next. Handpicked music, Hometown Radio, 92.1 The Palm, 8 minutes before the top of the hour. Got Mark Bryan's new one, Forget About Me, coming up in just a couple minutes as well. Stick around for that. Got Margaret in studio, Carolina Reiki Institute, CarolinaReikiInstitute.com, or give them a call, 803-551-1191. Any of those ways will work to get in touch. As folks reach out to you, you have that first consultation, you decide on a course of treatment. How long do patients generally stay with you?
It depends. Everyone heals at a different rate. And the first thing usually they ask me as they get off the table is, how often do I need to come back?
Right.
And I really cannot tell them. I've had people who one treatment was all they needed. And then I've had people who were in a stage where they came every day for a certain amount of time. I've had people who come once a week, once a month. Sometimes I'll work with someone for a while, and then I won't see them. And a couple of years later, they'll call and say, I need to come back. So I guess my way of knowing that I've done my job is when they don't come back.
Yeah, that's actually a really great way of looking at it. It is Reiki and Jin Senjutsu. Close, right?
Close.
Non-invasive therapies to help you either stay healthy, if you're already healthy.
Yes.
Or if you are having a problem, it's as an adjunct to whatever medical care you're receiving. Margaret in studio, I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Get out and see them. CarolinaReikiInstitute.com, 803-551-1191. Video on the website kind of gives a quick explanation of the both therapies?
Yes.
All right.
Well, not both, but.
Okay. Just Reiki. All right. So check it out there. Got Mark Bryan on the way next.